Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Nexiphorcast, where we highlight forward-thinking leaders who are shaping the industry. Today, I'm joined by Sebastian Maffei, the CEO of ECOCUR. Sebastian, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you, Dorant, for having me.
Absolutely. So, Sebastian, do you want to start with a quick introduction about yourself and just show us how you got started as a business in the first place?
Okay, well, my name is Sebastian. I'm from Paraguay, South America. I'm the founder and CEO of EcoCur, a tire recycling business. I've been always very fond of looking for an idea on how to reuse the tires, and that's what we have been doing in EcoCur.
Okay, great. Can you take me back, let's say, before EcoCure, like what were you doing and what was the moment you first looked at a pile of tires, let's say, and saw the product instead of a waste?
Okay, yeah. So before EcoCur, I was just finishing college without a clear idea on what to do.
Hmm.
But then I started researching about tires out of use or yeah, waste tires. And then I found that there were many products that were able to made out of recycled rubber. So I started investigating further, and that's how I first began with EcoCur. At the beginning, we were just shredding them and selling them as a raw input for other uses, other industrial uses.
Hmm.
But that was not enough for me because that was not fulfilling kind of like what I wanted to accomplish, because in the end I really wanted to do a final product with it. That's on the principles of circular economy. So a little bit later I developed our final products, which are rubber tiles now.
Okay, great. And being in this business, of course, that it's not easy, but from the public side, like turning a tire into flooring sounds simple, right? When you say it fast. What did it actually take to get it there, and how many versions failed, let's say, before the formula actually started to work?
Okay, yeah. So at the beginning, it took me around 6 months to 1 year to develop the final product that we were able to sell. It was We did around 600 experiments. It was very
Hmm.
exhausting or frustrating because nobody gives you a formula, nobody will help you because nobody will give you their process. So it's
Of
it's
course.
it's patented. And also at that time we didn't have AI, so it
Yeah, of
was
course.
it was a Google search wouldn't help for anything.
Hmm.
So it was a lot of trial and error. Yeah,
Yeah, it makes sense. And also, as I remember, you launched in 2020, right?
exactly. Just after the COVID
Yeah.
situation.
And what were those first months like? Were you convinced that this would work, let's say, in the first months after all those failures?
Well, after finally having the product, I failed big time with getting into the big leagues, meaning the big distributors. They rejected my product because they didn't want or they didn't trust a locally made product. They preferred to import the product.
Hmm.
So then I just had to do the sales to the final customer myself, which slowly but surely we started to gain market share, until in the end we managed to do some deals with big distributors after stealing some of their clients.
Okay. And now from all of this, now you've grown from a three people company to a 50 plus and grown incredibly fast. When did it stop with feeling like just a project this and start feeling like a real company to you?
Well, yeah, it started to become or to feel like a company and not like a family business or whatever. When I started to hire more people up in the management chain. At the beginning, I was just hiring operators and managing them myself, but there was a point that I couldn't handle anything, I mean, everything anymore, from
Hmm.
sales to logistics to HR to accounting to everything. So when I had to get help and expand my team, that's when I realized that this is not a project anymore. This is a company now,
Yeah.
and many people depend on me now. Yeah.
Okay, great. And now, as we know, you tripled production this year, right? And built extra capacity on purpose. What are you betting on that most of the people can see it yet?
Well, right now in my region, we're one of the biggest players in what concerns the production of final goods with recycled rubber.
Mhm.
What I'm betting on is on the uh, the rate of growth of this industry is around 9 to 10%, the compounding annual rate of growth. And so what I'm seeing is that the opportunity of doing rubber products is not just rubber flooring, which is what we're doing now, but we are expanding slowly into other products. So the
Mhm.
idea of this expansion is to cover other countries, so to expand our export capacity and also to expand our product diversification.
Okay. I have another question which is related a bit to tech and AI. How much are you using AI lately to boost, let's say, your productivity on all this ecosystem, let's say?
Well, AI is really helping us into perfecting our product. We're using AI to find ways to find flaws in our production process, and also in the control we make or we have to make in our production process.
Hmm.
Um, Also, we're using a lot of AI to find new products that will be easy or with not many complications to implement in our production line. And also we are starting to use AI to boost our sales and have a better customer relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What are some, let's say, tools or things that you would want AI, let's say, to do for you that they aren't on the market yet, let's say?
Mm, could you
Some things that you're confident. What are some tools or let's say some AI work that you are not doing it yet, but you wish they exist and you are confident that with those in place, your company would just boost in sales, in product and everything?
Okay. Well, I must say it might be a bit complicated to do what I'm thinking of,
Hmm.
but I think it might be realistic in a few years. So it will be like a combination of AI and robotics. So
Okay.
with these products, there are a lot of testing we need to do before selling into the market. Right now, most of those testing we do are manual testing with some laboratory instruments. But I'm thinking in
Hmm.
the future that if we are able to implement some AI and some robots that can do the testing of the products before which will essentially certify that these products are able to be sell, like good to sell, or
Yeah.
they are lost products. We will be able to first save a lot of money in those hours of man hours, and also um, do the job much faster, because right now we're talking about 100 to 200 tons of productions per month, and that's all
Yeah.
being done by people. So if we're able to
Yeah.
do that with AI and robotics, that'll be a big win.
Yeah. I fully agree on that part. What are some, let's say, trends or changes you have noticed in your industry so far, including AI or not, and how the other competitors, let's say, or other companies are adapting to this, based on your expertise, of course.
What I'm seeing is that major players are beginning to implement sensors or chips into the rubber flooring
Hmm.
or the rubber tiles, which they are able to measure many things like weight, strength, traffic, many things that will be very useful for the customer. Like for example, for a gym owner, with these chips, they will be able to track many metrics,
Yeah.
and but it's something very complex to do because these chips need to be embedded into the floor, and they need to be able to sustain a lot of
Hmm.
pressure and weight. So it's something very new, but I have seen some prototypes, and we began experimenting with them, but so far we are very far from having something.
Okay. And who actually buys from EcoCure? Who actually buys EcoCure flooring, let's say? And were you surprised by who your best customers turn out to be?
Well, honestly, I was not surprised on who are my customers right now, because that was my
Hmm.
aim from the beginning, to sell to big distributors and big retailers, and export to other distributors from other countries. Um, but at the beginning, that was not the case. I was just selling to final customers, like direct to gyms, or to architects, or to construction companies. Um, but yeah, in the end, we turn out to be the suppliers and not the retailers.
Yeah. And my, like, let's say, almost final question to you is, let's say for a founder in an emerging market with a big idea, but the odds stacked against them, what would you tell them as an advisor with all this experience?
Well, when where there is a will, there is a way. That's something that I really like to have in my mind.
I like that.
And that's what I did at the beginning. Just out getting out of COVID, market was dead. I had to build my factory from the ground up. It was very tough because all of the engineers that had to come to my factory couldn't come because they will come
Hmm.
from overseas, but like flights were grounded. So I had to do it myself with just a couple of people, and then developing the formula by myself. I don't have any chemical or industrial background. My my college degree is on entrepreneurship
Hmm.
and administration and finance, so that helped a bit, but not not at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I had to learn a lot, do trial and errors. And one thing that was really helpful is to always have an open mind when talking to the customers. Just asking them, what do you want? What can I do for you? And if you make that happen, it's really hard for them to say no.
Yeah.
If you just try to negotiate to them in terms of, like, you are not imposing anything, but you are willing to meet their terms, that will open up a lot of
Hmm.
doors. Yeah.
Wonderful. And before we wrap up, where can our listeners or maybe potential client of yours reach out to you if they want to?
Well, we have our Instagram, which is EcoCur PY. I have my own Instagram, which is also Sebastian Maffei. We have our website. We They can also reach out to me via email, which is Sebastian-Maffei at ecocur.com.py, um,
Hmm.
or via my LinkedIn, which is my name as well.
Okay, so Sebastian, thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure you having our podcast. And for everyone who is watching, keep growing, keep thriving, and I will see you on the next episode.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Duran. Thank you for having me, and thank you for listening.